All right, the movie has officially been out for a week now, and it's about time I do this spoiler review. I should have done it earlier. I was occupied with other things, and I didn't even put out too many videos since I did my non-spoiler review. But the thing is, I'm going to talk about the movie a little bit more in depth. Some things that I noticed. I'm not going to talk about every single part of the movie. This video kind of short, but this is a spoiler review because I just want to talk about some of the things that was done so well and good, and some of the things I didn't expect. First and foremost, Ryan Coogler did a great job directing this movie. It's not easy to pull off any movie and make it good. It takes a lot of people. It's a team. He said that in his thank you letter because of the success that's going on with the movie. And there's small things I noticed. I saw the movie 4 times. That's the most I've seen any movie. I've seen a couple other movies 4 times, but this time it didn't feel like I forced that 4th time where I just wanted to hurry up and see certain scenes. I enjoyed watching the whole thing. I didn't want to rush through it, anything. And it's just because it's so new, it's so different, a whole different setting. If we had a superhero movie that's based primarily in Brazil or something like that, or it would feel different, or Antarctica for some reason, just a whole culture, whether it's a fictional country like Wakanda, or if it's a place that really exists, but it's just in a different setting. It's not New York. They're not traveling to Russia. That's one of the reasons I like James Bond movies, is because he travels a lot. He goes different places. Every time he hits Jamaica, I'm like, look at the beautiful scenery, and they have action scenes and stuff there. But Wakanda, to bring Wakanda to life, it's going to be different than anything you ever seen in the world. It's a fictional country that's just so advanced in its tech. So everything in Wakanda, it works by, and it doesn't look the same as United States. I mean, people, yes, buildings, yes, transportation vehicles, devices, yes. But it was going to look different, and that's one of the things that was great about this. Everybody was good in this. And the characters that they used in this, I didn't know how many of these characters really existed in the comics, because Nakia, I don't remember her. I haven't read every Black Panther comic, but she's in the comics. As doing my research, I'm like, oh, she's a character in the comics. A lot different. You know who Black Panther's love interest was. If any of you guys remember Monica, the singer from the United States who went to Wakanda with him. That was in Jungle Action, I believe. And that's the same issue that Killmonger first appeared. Also Storm. We know about his relationship with Storm, marriage, the annulment, or divorce, whatever. Just a lot of things. We can't get everything we want from the comics. We know that. There's no Namor in this universe yet, as far as we know. There's no Mr. Fantastic. The Illuminati is not formed or whatever. But the thing is, this was still done so well, introducing all these characters. Okoye's in the comics. What's the other chick name from the Dora Milaje? She was in Civil War. The one who told Black Widow, moved or be moved. You know what I mean? She's in the comics. Everybody. Zori's in the comics. It was fantastic, but I love the opening of this movie. It took place in 1992, and that was fantastic. I was like, yes, flashbacks. I love flashbacks. I'm a guy who loves flashbacks. I love them, especially when they're done right. And the guy that was playing young T'Chaka is actually the son of older T'Chaka from Civil War and in this film. And that was cool. You know, and he's an actor. He's an actor. It's not like they just say, hey, get your son because he looks like you, whatever. But he did a great job playing young T'Chaka. In 1992, seeing the kind of tech they had holographic images coming out of Kimoyo beads, or actually it was like his Panther gauntlet. And I like that outfit, that old Black Panther outfit. It had the gold, and it had like the tribal, cloth attached to it and stuff like that. That was cool. I really like that. But the acting was great. The guy from This Is Us, man, he brought out the emotion. The short amount of scenes he had, he brought out the emotion. Playing Eric Killmonger's dad. I forgot his name. But Michael B. Jordan is Eric Killmonger. He delivered. He did very well. I said that in my other review. And one of the things was, during the fight, when he challenged T'Challa for the throne, I didn't know if it was going to go the same way it went in his first appearance in the comics, because they're fighting at Warrior's Fall, and he threw Black Panther off of that. He didn't die, of course. He was found by the woman Monica, and he got taken back to the village. He didn't even fully heal, and he went to go fight and stop Killmonger and the guys he had with him, because he was brought back to Wakanda by Black Panther. But storyline's going to be different in this. This isn't supposed to be a copy of the real universe in the comics, the 616 universe. It's not. It's going to be different. Things are going to happen different, and I'm totally fine with that. But a lot of things in here came straight from the old comics. the new comic volume 3 that we have right now. It was fantastic, man. I enjoyed the movie so much. It looked so different. It felt different. It was connected. We know that, especially from what they showed in the beginning. Everett Ross being in there, mentioning I gave you Zemo, I'm taking Claw. Claw was magnificent, man. I mean, his hand cannon, looked weird because it was like a fake flesh type of hand. But still, he had a hand cannon like Claw has. I believe it's his right arm in the comics. It doesn't matter to me. Like I said, some things are different. It doesn't matter. Claw dying was a surprise. I hate when good villains die, man. I hate it so much. And to say that, Killmonger too. But Killmonger was resurrected in the comics by people of his clan, because when he was brought back to Wakanda, he had a little tribe in a little area that was named after him. And they brought him back to life. Who else? Mandarin brought him back to life. And I believe he was brought back to life another time. But when we saw the trailer, everybody was like, oh, man. Well, everybody loved the fact that it was revealed that he had a suit just like Black Panther does. But some people were upset. Like, oh, here we go again. The villain is going to be just a copy of what the hero is, like an Iron Man 1 or Captain America, Winter Soldier. They were almost the same thing. But my thing is, when you realize that he did win as he won the, what is it called? Ritual combat, and he became Black Panther. He was king. He had his own suit. He had his own little dressings around, like the boots and the little skulls and stuff around the collar. So he looked different enough, but the same. He tried to join the Avengers and stuff like that as Black Panther. It made sense, especially in the story. Because even after he beat T'Challa, and I remember Christian Harloff from Collider said, Ryan Coogler's not fooling him. This storyline straight out of Rocky 3. A lot of things was like that. Zuri being like his advisor, like his Mickey, Rocky's Mickey. And he died, or he was going through something hard. And that person couldn't focus in the rest of the fight. But also, Killmonger was winning the fight because he wanted it more. He trained. He had a goal all his life. And he was working up to this one moment. T'Challa was been practicing being king, but he didn't prepare for every challenge that's going to come, although you do train in case you are challenged. And that's one thing I like about T'Challa. He accepted every challenge that came his way. It was only 2. We couldn't get 4 or 5. It got repetitive and boring of seeing the ritual combat so many times, but he just accepted every challenge that came his way. He's like, I'm king. Somebody challenged me, I got to accept it. But at the same time, Killmonger won. Fair and square, he got the upper hand. Zuri interfered, and he died. T'Challa, it seemed like he was down and out. He lost the fight, but not really lost the fight. He was kind of just like distracted by something terrible that happened, an interruption. And then he comes back later and he wins because the good guy is too cocky this time. I mean, the bad guy is too cocky this time. But I thought everything in the movie was handled well. I didn't mind that he won. He had the throne. After Killmonger got the throne, and when he's walking to the throne, the music starts playing. The music in this movie is fantastic. The soundtrack is great, but I really like the score a little bit better. I'm always more of a score guy when it comes to movies. I love the score. But when he's walking to the throne, Killmonger, if you notice, the camera's upside down. And then it slowly starts turning right side up as he's walking to the throne. And it's upside down, kind of like something's wrong. Or everybody's world been flipped upside down. Little things like that you notice on the third time, second time. Some people for the first time. And I saw Ryan Coogler break down the casino fight. That casino in, what was it, Hong Kong? No, it was Korea, right? That casino fight, he broke down like how Nakia is wearing green, T'Challa's wearing black, Okoye's wearing red. And it's, African colors, black, red, and green. So it was interesting seeing him break down that fight. You see little things you didn't notice, like, oh yeah. The fight scenes, I enjoyed the fight scenes a lot. One thing about the movies is we never really get the characters representing how they are in the comics completely. People talk about how Thor's down-powered from the comics, Hulk too, Captain America's done pretty well. But, even Batman. In the movies, Batman's done great a lot of times. We've seen him more times than anybody in films, but nah, even Superman, he's down-powered from the comics. It's like, I was watching T'Challa fight. Besides that, what do you call it? The car chase scene when they're fighting. The other times he was fighting as Black Panther, and even just as T'Challa without the heart-shaped herb abilities. I was looking at him, I'm just like, it's another case of, like Batman, for example. He's done pretty well in the movies. A couple of movies, you could say he's done pretty well. But he doesn't compare to what we see in comics. He just doesn't. Or even the animated DC films. When you watch those, the way Batman is, Nah, it's still some stuff, and it's just this sharpness, this proudness that Batman has that just isn't translated completely onto film. And I felt like that watching Black Panther in this, because I know some people look at it like, man, this Black Panther's weak. He could get beat by this person, that person, if he got beat by Killmonger that easily. Because even without the harsh shade, Black Panther is vicious. He's vicious, taking on 4 or 5 guys at one time. Now these might be ordinary, just like thugs or criminals, but even guys who have trained and highly trained special forces, most of these superheroes that are good with hand-to-hand combat can take them out like that. 3 guys like that. So it seems like, why is M'Baku getting the best of him? Well, he's trained all his life for fighting too. That's what they do. Eric Killmonger, it made sense. He trained all his life fighting. He did a lot of killing, probably hand-to-hand and with guns and stuff, to make sure he would be able to handle a person who's trained all their life for fighting. So, and I gotta say this. When we saw the first trailer, or maybe it was the second trailer for Black Panther, and you hear Michael B. Jordan character speak, and you notice he's not speaking with an accent, and I was like, he doesn't have an accent, I wonder why. This nice woman explained it to me. She was like, well, he grew up in Harlem. His family was outcast. That I knew. And I know he spent the majority of his life growing up, or the second half of his life growing up in the United States. But from what I know in the comics, there's a lot of stuff that gets retconned and changed later. But from what I know from 2 different tellings of Black Panther's history, when Claw attacked in Wakanda, he was already born. He was there in Wakanda, and he was of the age like 10 or older. I believe his parents died at one point, and in one of the retcons of the history of Wakanda. Also, another time, I believe his parents didn't die. Like, they were held captive, and Claw forced them to help steal the vibranium or break him in to Wakanda. And then they were outcast because of that. Something like that. But the thing is, he was already age of 10 or older when he got outcast. His family got outcast, and he had to grow up. So he would have had an accent. He grew up. And, I didn't hear him speak before I read the comics. So it's like, I don't know what his voice sounds like. But he had an accent. I mean, he should have an accent. But in this, it was totally different. I had this really mean guy talking about, well, if you pick up a comic once in a while, instead of using uninformed opinion about it, it's an opinion. If it's uninformed, it's still an opinion. But the thing I was asking was, are they going to explain that in the movie? Like, did he not grow up in Wakanda? Is he not from there at all? And in the movie, he never set a foot, not one day in Wakanda. He was born in America when his father fell in love with a woman in America. So his mother wasn't even from Wakanda. You know what I mean? So it's different. And that's what I was asking, if they're going to explain. Things are different. It's not the same way it is in the comics. It's like he didn't grow up in Harlem. Yeah, sure. He went over on the East Coast and went to MIT. And he went to Annapolis. He graduated from there. But the thing is, he grew up in Oakland. He's from Oakland in this. You know what I mean? It's different. But people want to just bash you. Like, you don't know this, you don't know that. Oh, you're not a good fan. Those type of people just need to chill out. They're so proud they know something somebody else don't know. There's somebody who knows more than them. And if it isn't, oh, wow. Things are different. This is the movie universe. When I'm asking about the movie, I'm asking about the movie, not the comics. Although I haven't read every Black Panther issue and got a lot more to learn about a lot of characters in comics. The thing is, chill out. You know what I mean? It just gets annoying, but I can handle it. I'm prepared for it. Ooh, he didn't even respond to what I said. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even respond because how I hit him, what I hit him with. But anyway, let me get back to the movie. The action scenes were great. Although I feel like, this is just a taste of what Black Panther's capable of doing. We got Infinity War. We're going to see him do some crazy stuff. We really are. He handled himself in Civil War very well. He handled himself in this very well. Everybody in Wakanda who's of royal blood or in tribes, the warriors, are trained hard from when they're young to, at the point of any time there's not a king or queen and somebody needs to step up in the mantle as Black Panther, king or queen, that one of them will be ready. So they're all trained. Even his sister, his child's sister, she's been trained in combat since she was young. She was fantastic. She was funny. I like the character. I like how she interacted with other people, especially Everett Ross. He didn't feel like he was shoehorned in. Sometimes he's a person who he had more time here than he did in Civil War. Felt like he was more shoehorned in there. But I like that he was there. They saved his life. It was a way of them, having some kind of dispute with somebody on the outside of Wakanda, not knowing what Wakanda's about, saying, you can't do this, you can't do that. It was good. I thought it worked. His role worked for me. I don't think anybody was shoehorned in. We got to put 2 white characters in there. No, you couldn't have had Claw. Well, you got to have Claw. He's one of Black Panther's major villains since the beginning of that Fantastic Four comic. You had to have Claw. But Everett Ross, you didn't need him, but he was a big part of Black Panther's storyline, you know, and especially in Volume 2, I believe, when the comic started back up in the late 90s. He was a big part. Black Panther was his client, you know, so it was welcome to me knowing that from the comics. It was welcome. Dora Milaje was tough. I love the outfits. Man, a lot of things was comic accurate. The style, the look, they were tough. I enjoyed them a lot. Okoye, she was great. I wanted to see more and more of her fighting, and sometimes she just looks so cute. That final battle, that was good, man. The Black Panther just going all out, fighting groups of people, taking down that rhino. That's straight out the comics. He's taken down many animals before. A T-Rex. You know what I mean? Like, I love those old jungle action comics featuring Black Panther. I love those. But his suit with the nanotechnology and stuff like that, that's in the comics. I was happy they had that in there. He still got the old suit, you know, but that's the suit he's using now. It's a Hulkbuster suit. The amount of tech they have in Wakanda is ridiculous. But I like how the film ended, and they're like, we're going to share our technology with the rest of the world. And they have to, that means they got to share the vibranium too, or they can share what they know about technology, because their technology doesn't work without vibranium. That's the battery source. It draws off the kinetic energy of just their body moving every time you use it, and it's like a self-sustaining battery, kind of like solar power. But it just tapping on it, using the products, or moving around, having it on your body. You can keep adding more Kimoyo beads and stuff like that for different functions. Their tech is really cool, and self-sustaining energy. Like, it's so cool, man. I can't believe it. I can't wait for the second Black Panther movie. I can't wait for Infinity War, Avengers 4, for another Marvel movie, and if Black Panther just shows up, or somebody else shows up, Nakia, or, you know, Siri, or somebody, I don't know. I just can't wait to see that part of this Marvel universe integrated into more movies and stuff like that. I can't wait to see it. It was done. It was fantastic. Cinematography was good. Ryan Coogler did great. The guy who helped him with the script and himself, that script was fantastic. Like I said, they blended a lot of old and new stuff in there. When Killmonger died, I felt it. You know, I didn't know if they was going to do the redemption story, but he stayed true to his feelings, and he was like, when he delivered that line and said, just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors who jumped from the ships because they knew death was better than bondage. The slave ships, that was strong. He rather that than to live. I mean, they wasn't going to keep him locked up forever. You know, he was going to ask, are you sorry? Do you want redemption? I'm pretty sure that was something they was going to do, especially T'Challa, the way he felt. But no, he said, I'd rather die. He wanted to carry out his cause. He was like, well, if I didn't win, and I'm not going to be able to, you know, take over those other nations the way I feel like we should, then death is what I choose, you know. So good character. I mean, good villains, when they die off, just never sits good with me. We get the bad villains come back and back again, or they don't die. But I do like those one villains where you could just have them in a movie, they die and they're gone. You can introduce a new one, but not the great ones, not the real great ones. In the comics, we never get that. The great villains last, they stay around and stuff like that, but not in this. I talked a lot. I wasn't going to talk about everything. There's some things I liked. I'm not going to get into everything. This video will be half an hour long. I'm not trying to do that. I just wanted to talk about some key things that I really enjoyed. The movie is fantastic. I saw it 4 times. I might see it again. I don't know. I kind of want to wait until it come out on DVD to see it again. Now, I experienced it in the theater 4 times. And what helps when you see a movie that many times is always seeing it with somebody who's never seen it before. Feels good. And being there with the crowd, different crowds every single time. It's good. I might just wait till it comes out on Blu-ray. I can't wait to see this movie again. I like so much about it. Yeah, I'm so pumped for Infinity War. The numbers that Black Panther was doing was outrageous. It's amazing. Infinity War is going to be fantastic. I cannot wait. But then again, like I said, this movie, I can't wait to see another movie set in Wakanda. I mean, Infinity War takes place in Wakanda. There's a battle in Wakanda. There's M'Baku's in Infinity War. Winter Soldier's there with them. We saw all them running at the end. Anyway, that's my spoilerish review of Black Panther. I really enjoyed this film. And if anybody want to talk about parts of the film, that's really why I made this video. I wanted people not to do it on my non-spoiler review, because that's probably why most people would watch that one, whoever does watch it. Now we can talk about some spoilers. You guys can tell me how you liked it, what you didn't like, what you think they did wrong, what we didn't need. If you didn't like it, reasons why. There's always going to be people who don't like certain things. It happens, you know what I mean? Everything's not for everyone. But anyway, let's get to talking about that. Hit it up. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I might make another video talking about this later on. Some stuff that I remembered, some stuff that I'm connecting that I think is going to happen. I'm not that type of person. I just wait and see when the next movies come out what they offer us. I don't try to look at every little thing like, oh, and this probably means this and that and this, because a lot of times we be wrong. Or go ahead and leave some comments. Hit it up. That's really why I made this video, to be honest with you, so we can talk in the comments. See you next time.